Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Running Wild Podcast. I'm your co-host Rich, alongside me as always, my co-host Runz.
Yes, sir.
Just want to remind you that we're brought to you in partnership with pwpartners.com, lastwinnerprowrestling.com, and rhworld.com. Alright, with all that out of the way, so this is a very weird non-preview, non-review week of just wrestling talk. This is just fantastic.
Yeah, no pay-per-views to review, no pay-per-views to preview. It's refreshing. And another bright note, the Elimination Chamber actually was Sunday, so I don't know.
Oh no, I forgot. Oh no.
I don't know if you want to just, start this over or just re-record that.
I think it is a statement on WWE's product that although I really enjoyed the event, that it's only Wednesday, and I was like, there was no pay-per-view on Sunday. I don't even know how that's possible.
Right. And where I was going before that revelation was that both Raw and SmackDown were pretty freaking good, and I think that's what helped, kind of forget some of Elimination Chamber, and the moments that mattered, we're going to talk about in regards to SmackDown anyway. So, really good week.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not even going to say, I actually enjoyed Elimination Chamber for the most part. I could have probably done without most of the rest of the show, in terms of not really the chamber itself was for me why I was watching, why I cared at all. And it's definitely one of those nights where I feel like I could have easily been out, come home, and just caught the end of it. I don't know where I would be on a Sunday out that late, but theoretically, if I wanted to, I feel like I could have probably missed most of the event and just caught that and been fine and really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, the Becky Mickey was just kind of whatever, and then they had the rematch on SmackDown, and it went the other way, so I guess they're at 1-1 right now. I guess we'll get a third one at some point. The Naomi title win was cool. I really didn't see it coming at all, so, that was a nice surprise. Excuse me. The tag team turmoil, it was what it was. I liked the Usos attacking Alpha afterwards, and it actually led me to question whether they were going to allow the Ascension to win. At first it was like, wow, whoever comes in next, legitimately might just pin them. And then it was the Ascension, and it was like, oh, well, that's not going to happen. But they gave me some moments where I was like, maybe. No. So, it'll be interesting to see. I liked the follow-up also with that on SmackDown. So, we can talk about that, and then we'll move on, more to the Harper and Orton and the main event.
So, just before we get into those matches, we actually ran a poll this week. Looks like you guys are really enjoying us running polls. Hopefully everybody who's voting is also listening. No, I'm serious, man.
You also just... Yeah, you make poor decisions on poll choices.
All right, so way to out us as a group and admit that I'm the one who's running the polls. So clear, yes, I made a poor decision. Somebody responded, so let's just get that out of the way. So I asked what everyone's favorite match from.
I can't see. I can't see what the poll was. So.
Oh, okay. So if you actually are on our Twitter page and you went to just our profile and scroll down,
it doesn't show me. It just shows me. It shows the question, but nothing else.
Oh, weird. Okay, well, I'm looking at it right now. So the first poll was, what was your favorite match? Now, remember, just to take a little heat off me, Twitter only allows you to put 4 choices.
Correct.
Okay, and I may have been a little tired.
There were not 4 matches or 3 matches better than Orton Harper.
No, and I apologize to everybody listening. Here's what happened. I obviously put Chamber. That was my first option. I put the women's title match because Naomi won the title.
Okay, yes, right.
I put tag team turmoil because...
No chance. See, there you go.
Okay,
no way.
Okay, but here's my thinking. Those 3 matches are title matches, right?
No. It doesn't
What do you
matter.
mean? Okay, I just went with tag team turmoil.
Right.
So I'll even defend that
one. Here's my question. Here you go.
Yeah.
Is the tag team championships? What's more important, the tag team championships or Randy Orton and Luke Harper?
Well, listen, man. It was 11 o'clock. Okay,
No,
I was
I
trying
know.
to hop off. I'm trying to hop on the
I'm just
hashtag.
asking.
No, you're completely right. This is why maybe you should run polls. I just said,
I knew
hey,
how. Just we'll figure it out.
it's really fun. You can do whatever you want, because then I did something ridiculous the next night. But yeah, 93 votes. So here we go. Oh yeah, and the last choice was, because then I decided in my wisdom to go in order of the card to pick the next match. So then I went, Mickey Becky, and totally left on Orton Harper. So at 1%. Of 93 votes. I'm not even sure the math on that. It's like somehow like less than one person? Yeah, one person. One person.
They probably won't give you a 0.8%.
I want to know who picked that, too. Like, if you are listening and you picked that Mickey and Becky was the best match of the night, please email us. We'll send you a gift. We'll send you something.
It's deserved, because that's something you would do. Like, you would go on some website and I just voted for this just because.
Yeah, it's kind of a troll move.
Yeah.
So, Mickey Becky got 1%. Narrowly beating them out with 3% was Naomi versus Alexa Bliss. Doubling that amount at 6% to the tag team tournament match. 6% of people.
So 84 people voted for.
6% of people. 6% of people looked at
Basically
this poll.
6.
6 people looked at this poll and said, "Tag team turmoil." I need to hear from you people. I need to hear from you.
It's probably the person who voted for Mickey Becky's brother,
And then, with a staggering 90% of the vote, Elimination Chamber.
It's 85 people, probably.
Hey, listen, this is genius, because now what I can do is I can retweet, quote the tweet, and put our podcast in it, and be like, you can listen to the results now, and everybody who voted maybe would get a notify. I don't know. I don't even know how Twitter works. So yeah, the chamber. So obviously I missed out on another match we should talk about, but Orton Harper.
Well, what did you think of those first bunch of matches?
So I'm not completely upset with myself for Mickey Becky, because I actually kind of enjoyed it. I think we both said that we thought that Mickey would win.
Mickey, yeah.
So the way it
Which,
played,
we got on Tuesday. So
yeah, that was amazing. Just want to put it out that we also called that that Kurt Hawkins would be Wrestling Mojo, because...
See, it's lost, and it really sucks, because the podcast gets released on Saturday, and, that news was already out there, but we recorded on Thursday. There was no indication of that whatsoever. That was just, wait a minute, off the top of our heads, who's left on this roster? Oh, okay. Yeah, they could have a match on the pre-show. And there it was.
But the saddest news was? There's actually one more person in the roster that we forgot about. And
that is?
Jack Swagger.
Wow.
And the guy's wrestling on house shows. I read an article about it or something. It came up somewhere. That, he's wrestling on house shows, and it's not like he's not active. They just didn't include him.
In the WWE video game, I put the dude in trunks, gave him Rick Rude's robe, a sick entrance, and he's the man of WWE. It's not that hard. It's pretty easy.
I don't get it. That guy was a world champion.
We were at the Money in the Bank one at WrestleMania, and I was stunned. Absolutely just what? He won? Yes. And then he won the belt. I will never forget. He came out. Remember, he would be super hyped up and taunting around. He won the belt, and as soon as he won the belt, boom, straight faced. Next night he came out in a suit, and that was it. The second he won the belt, you could see the switch. Okay, now I have to be serious, and it ruined him.
Man, what's the name of the eagle?
Oh, I don't remember.
I love that eagle.
The Real Americans, oh my God, Jack Swagger. He's good. Just let him do something. Give him a tag team. There's nobody he could be a tag team with. Come on.
I guess he's going to have to face the facts. They're just not going to push him. Terrible. All right, so I liked Mickey Becky. Mickey Becky. I thought it was well done in that, she kind of came out with that surprise win, so it's not as devastating.
Mm-hmm.
And then what they did on SmackDown I thought was smart. So I enjoyed that. The other tag team turmoil, okay. I like tag team wrestling. I do.
Correct.
I don't like tag team turmoil matches. And on a personal note, I just don't like 6-man. I don't personally like 6-man or 8-man tags, unless it's Survivor Series. Because I just don't like the idea that you have 8 guys involved and one pin determines it. I just never.
Yeah, like the 6-mans, like in New Japan with the Bucks and PWG, like those things, I can watch all day. They're a beautiful thing, but I get what you're saying. In WWE, most of the time, they're boring as hell.
Yeah. So the tag team turmoil match, I mean, what happened? Nothing really.
The Usos, but
But really though, like it didn't. They didn't win it. Alpha's
no, they didn't win, but they beat the hell out of them afterwards. And then they had a dope promo on SmackDown. I really liked the, like when you feel that look, it's not paranoia, it's the Uso. Like I liked where they set that promo. It was in a weird area, like a shipment container, it looked like, sort of a thing. So I liked that. I liked that. We've been clamoring for a contender for Alpha. And if it's going to be the Usos, I don't care. I don't mind these new Usos. I like them, and I'm fine with that. So let's go from there. Let's get a meaningful storyline going.
It's weird, but it's almost like at this point, no tag team in that division is really getting reaction. No. Like that whole division is dead.
And Alpha is suffering because of that. If Alpha had, if the Usos were wrestling more or around more, and they had the Revival, to feud with, or DIY, or the Authors of Pain, or any of those guys, it's a different division, and maybe everyone will just go to SmackDown when they come up. But they, we said it last week, they badly need the Revival to sell them as baby faces, and get everyone back behind them. And maybe the Usos will help with that. So we'll see where it goes. Like I said, I'm a fan of this gimmick change and what they've been doing. So I'm not excited, but I'm interested to see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It is what it is. I mean, I just would appreciate to see a revival of the division. I guess. I mean, it sounds corny, but that's really what I want. I want something from this.
I wrote down like that American Alpha needs like the revival of the division. Like that's, and it's the revival. That's what they are, and that's who they're gonna represent coming up.
All right, so then that match is out of the way. So what do we have left? Do we even
Nikki Natty is pointless. It was the double count out, right?
Yeah, but it's terrible. Fine. I'm not. Are you? Is it terrible though? Like they're going to continue this, so it's fine.
Right. That's the thing. It's meaningless at the pay-per-view, right? It doesn't matter. And then the next night, it's the False Gun Anywhere is announced for next week. So yeah, okay. I get why you did it. I see why. Okay, that's cool. I'm interested again in seeing the False Gun Anywhere match. I think it'll be good, but on the pay-per-view, it's just kind of whatever.
But I guess they need to do something so that now, it seems like Maurice is getting pulled in. And
yes, and that plays into the Miz and Maurice versus Cena and Nikki, right? Duh, there you go. Cena beats him in the chamber. He's not on SmackDown the next night, and then Nikki bumps into Maurice and gets her all dirty, so it's perfect.
Yeah, man. Holla, holla, holla. We're going for a tag team match.
A mixed tag team match.
By the way, I threw that in there just to acknowledge. Congratulations to Teddy Long. Super excited that he's in the Hall of Fame. He just needs to make one last tag team match, though. Like I just hope they let him do that sometime. Like he needs to come out on SmackDown one last time and make a tag team match.
He should just do it at the Hall of Fame. Like,
just
say it.
It's like 4 guys arguing. He comes out.
The Rock and Roll Express and Diamond Dallas Page. You're going to face Rick Rude and the Road Warriors, player. Holla, holla, holla.
Yo, I can't believe you picked
in the Hall of Fame.
You picked two dead guys.
6-man, intergender, 8-man, elimination tag team, single pinfall matchup.
Oh, I want to almost rewatch SmackDown. Like, someone has to have clips of all of his kind of fuck ups, right?
If you search Teddy Long botches or whatever on YouTube, I'm sure there'll be a billion videos.
Oh
so,
man, I almost
have at that and enjoy it tonight.
And now I know what I'm doing. Right after the minute we stop taping, I'm definitely gonna look that up right away. Then we had the handicap match: Apollo Crews and Kalisto versus Dolph Ziggler. Dolph attacks Kalisto on the way to the ring, and then starts
Which I was like, oh yeah, great, perfect. Now just go kill Apollo and we're done. We'll get out of this. And that's not what happened.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense the way they booked that. Maybe I'm not seeing something. Maybe they have an idea that I can't see.
Well, on SmackDown, he had a backstage interview where he talked about the new generation and he's going to kill all of them. And I was just like, come on. Like, this is where we're going? Didn't we just do this new generation stuff? Like, this is what Cena's doing? I don't... Come on.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It doesn't make sense.
It does. It does, strong. And it... Right. The new generation stuff makes sense.
No,
but
yeah.
You can't lose to the guys. And I don't know, man. It makes sense. It's a handicap match. He's the heel. He should lose, right? But taking out Kalisto, he should have stayed out. He should have then beat Crews, and then you can have the 2-on-1 on SmackDown, and he loses, and we go from there. There's a better way to do that, I think.
I would think so as well. All right, so enough about that match.
And then it's Wyatt and Harper. Orton and Harper.
Harper always impresses.
Always. I hope they see it, too.
There's a part of me, I don't want a complete character change, but I just...
Trunks. Pants.
Something. Yeah, I'm done with the... and especially if you're distancing yourself from the Wyatts, you don't need to do that anymore. I'm sick of the dirty shirt.
You gotta do something.
Yeah, something different. Just something a little bit different.
Yeah, I agree.
But, it is... We'll have
Great
to see what
match.
happens.
Really, really good. A couple times I bought into maybe Harper could get this win. Is it possible? Who knows? But, Orton got the win in the end, rightfully so. He was going on to challenge for WrestleMania, and we'll get into that in just a minute. But, awesome match.
By the way, if you're wondering about how Luke Harper's Twitter has changed since he's not with the Wyatts anymore, it hasn't.
I was going to say,
he tweeted today, it's Wednesday. You know what that means. And I can't get over how he just tweets just that every single day.
It's Tuesday, you know what that means? Or is that what you said?
Literally, every day. It's Friday, you know what that means. It's Saturday, you know what that means. It's Sunday, you know what that means. That's his only... Yo, go look at his Twitter account. Scroll. You can scroll for hours. Like, on January 7th, he did it a little bit differently and made it like each word was a line. So it's Saturday, you know what that means. Like that. But literally the same thing every day. And it's been going on for like a year.
Amazing. Really?
Oh, man. Oh, wait. He apparently tweeted at Roger Goodell on October 2016, October 20th. He says, 2 tears. No worries. I'll celebrate for you. And some YouTube video. So that's the weirdest thing ever.
Okay.
Yeah, but since then, since October 31st, he has not tweeted anything different other than it's the day of the week. You know what that means.
Well, I guess we know what that means.
So, as much as I thought this was a good match, I oddly didn't feel a lot of importance with it. Maybe I'm different than most. I'm not. Before the Elimination Chamber, I didn't want to invest in Orton or Wyatt or Harper.
See, I guess that's slightly where we disagree. Like I've always been a fan of Harper, and I've always kind of wanted him to get the spotlight or the push that I felt he deserved, or many fans feel he deserved. So, I was definitely interested in that. Orton, it was one of my favorites, when he was doing his thing at the beginning and all that. So I was excited to see it. I liked what I got, and, I definitely enjoyed the follow-up on Tuesday, which we'll get to that after we talk about the Chamber, of course.
Yeah. So, I mean, great match. I just, unfortunately, at that moment, I was not super into it.
Did it make you care more?
No, because the Chamber had to happen first for me to care more.
All right. Well, I mean, like, we knew where Orton was going. And so, just I've enjoyed this Wyatt storyline pretty much from start to finish, So, I mean, even it's clearly not over yet. So,
yeah, now so great match, but the Chamber, woo.
Chamber was really good.
Yeah, I've read a lot of things online about how people think that this is like one of the top 3 Chambers, like maybe the first one and some other, I forgot which other one they mentioned, but basically this is definitely either top 2 or top 3 Chambers that they've had, and I have to completely agree. Yeah, I think it was so well done. I thought that the way they rolled everyone out, the stories they told and that are gonna come from that Elimination Chamber feel more like almost like a Royal Rumble in terms of like storylines being placed into this big match.
And I think the brand split and the pay-per-views in between are altering a lot of storylines coming out of the Rumble. We got some big ones, but like you said, there was 2 main storylines coming out of the Chamber. And we got Cena and Miz, we got the rise of Wyatt, we got Corbin and the Miz, Corbin and Ambrose. So that's 3, and then we have Styles just being the man and killing it and doing what he does. And that's great to see. I don't care that he lost. He started number 1. He was in there till the end. That's what you want. He had an awesome showing, kicked out of some AAs. Perfect.
Oh, really excellent. What did you think about the redesigned cell?
I loved it. I really liked the windows at the top of the chambers. That was cool when they were up there. The square shape, whatever, it makes more sense for them. It's more logistical for their arenas. So whatever, I liked it. It's a lot taller than the other one was.
Yeah.
So that's also a good thing because that's going to come into play at some point, probably.
Is there a hole in the middle of the top?
I believe so. There always was.
Really?
But it was a lot harder. Yeah, there was just a lot smaller. Like, remember, like, Nitro or whoever climbed out of it? But whatever.
Okay. Yeah,
yeah, there was always a hole, but now it's bigger, I assume, to incorporate all the Jumbotrons.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. That's why. Huh. All right. And then
it's just easier in the arenas now.
They have the mats on the outside now, which makes me angry
Right.
for next year's game. So I can't just weaken someone by throwing them over the ropes, the outside over and over again.
I mean, they looked good. They didn't necessarily look like just big old mats. They looked good. They looked a little steelish. So that was a good thing.
Yeah,
but
I
you
wonder.
could definitely tell they were mats. But
Do you think anybody in attendance? Like, I was wondering if anyone there knew that it was
probably because you didn't hear like the clang 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 every time, but
okay.
still, yeah, I agree. They weren't obvious. So, I mean, listen, I'm all for the impact of the chamber and all of that stuff, but let's think about these guys' careers and their health, and like just falling on that thing, and the guys would have gashes and burns up their arm. Like, that's crazy, man. Forget about getting a BBT or something. That's nuts.
Yeah, and I guess it gives them like real space to spread the match out because now guys can actually take bumps on the outside.
Yeah, and now aside from the look of it, like we said before, the execution was, I think, flawless. Okay, Corbin gets pinned, and then he's just pissed off and kills Ambrose in the chamber, throws him through the cell, right? Throws him through the pod, then hits the end of days. Then the next night takes him out before his match, hits end of days or D6, whatever, on the carts or whatever it was. And this is how you build a monster, and I'm excited to see this match at WrestleMania. I like both of these guys. Ambrose is, he was a little stale. He has his moments, but I'm still a fan of his work in the ring, and I really like Baron Corbin.
Are we gonna get Corbin and Ambrose at Mania, or are we gonna get a ladder match?
No, I think we're getting Corbin Ambrose, and Corbin walking out of there as the IC champ.
So what do you do? Okay.
Because there's no one else to incorporate in there, really. The Miz and Cena have their thing. Styles is going to have something.
Where do you stick all the guys that don't get a match?
Like who? Who else had a match on WrestleMania, on Elimination Chamber? Orton and Harper. They'll be involved in the Wyatt stuff. Harper, sorry, he'll be in the Battle Royal. And then that was it. Dolph, Kalisto, Apollo, they can have a match on the pre-show some way. Okay. Maybe some sort of a tag team. Dolph brings someone with them.
Swagger, maybe?
That's literally what I was thinking before and just now. Like, yeah, maybe he just gets Swagger. Hey, Swagger lost his spot to the new generation. Boom. Give him a new look, give him the attitude, and it's money.
Yeah, legit give him the mic and just be like, yo, talk about how you feel.
Right, that's it. Yo, just go out there and cut a promo, man. Follow Dolph's lead. He'll lead you along the way. They have a similar look. They have the wrestling background. They're a fine team. They can win. They can beat Alpha. That'd be a dope feud.
Oh yeah, no, that would be great.
Like Hollywood
simple
Blondes things.
2.
You don't even right. Yo, perfect. That's it. That's all you have to do. Have the Rock and Roll Express still wrestle. Have them just come out and fuck up Rock and Roll Express at WrestleMania, when they had the Hall of Fame thing.
Oh my God.
Those dudes legitimately still wrestle. Just go out there and have them bump around. That's it. Dolphin Swagger, made men.
That.
Just hire us, WWE. Cut all the nonsense.
I guess, yeah. They really should be using the Hall of Fame ceremony to at least get something going.
Usually you can't. But this year, you have Angle who's wrestling. You have the Rock and Roll Express who's wrestling. Diamond Dallas Page is in crazy shape. You can do some things.
Oh, man, DDP. So crazy.
Yeah, man. It'll be interesting. I doubt that they will, but whatever. But, back to present day things.
But I was super excited. I thought Husky Harris really did a good job there.
Sorry, I don't know who you're talking about.
I thought Bray
as Samoa Joe said to your man Sami Zayn on Raw, when you speak of my name, put some respect on it. All right? When you speak of Bray Wyatt, put some respect on that name.
I'll cash you outside.
How about that?
I can't believe I know that, by the way.
It's the in saying in 8th grade right now, so feel proud of yourself.
Oh, man. I said... Somebody
was outside. How about that? Get your own catchphrase. How about that?
Somebody was saying it, and somebody was annoying me, and they did not expect me to know it. I forgot how I learned it somehow in passing during class, and I brought it up.
I learned it somehow.
It was so great. The look on their faces when I say something like that, what? And this is because some of my classes still think I'm 24. Come on, Mr. Coyne, how old are you? It's 24, right? And I'm like, yeah, man, that's awesome. But just add 10 more years. And they're like, what? So it's awesomely dope. And also, just a brief side note, since I'm still talking about my students, shout out to anybody who might be listening who's part of the awesome Dangerous Minds picture I took today. I don't even think I can legally post that anywhere, but so many of us were wearing leather jackets that I felt like a very Michelle Pfeiffer mood. So I posed just like the cover of the movie Dangerous Minds. It's good stuff, good times. This is what happens.
The Greasers, but it's all right.
I should have.
I guess Michelle Pfeiffer is a better vibe for you.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Even Statwife was like, "Oh, Why didn't you just do greasers?
Oh, you just compared yourself to Michelle Pfeiffer? That's cool.
And here's the best part. It's like a class of mostly boys, so it's just like the girls didn't want to be... So it's just the boys and me. And it could have easily been outsiders. Instead...
Yeah, clearly you're Dallas Winston.
Oh, I don't know. Dallas...
No, what's his name? Patrick Swayze.
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah. That's more... I was like, wait, Dari.
I was thinking of... I was like, oh, the older guy, and then for some reason just thought that. Anyway.
By the way,
yes, so
I'm very happy that...
Chamber.
Wait, before we continue, I just need to comment that I hope one day to have my hair close enough to Patrick Swayze's.
I don't think we could be friends then. The show would probably end after that. Unless you were a manager of some sort. Or, on-air personality. But, so Bray Wyatt wins
excellent.
the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, pinning John Cena and then pinning AJ Styles. And you really can't get much better than that.
No, I mean, you literally can't put someone over more than having them pin Cena and then Styles.
Yeah, and it's not like this came out of nowhere. It's not like Bray Wyatt is a new face. He's been around for a while. He's had his moments and gotten pushed back down. The fans erupted and went crazy when he won. He looked awesome with the belt. Cut a great promo in the dark on Tuesday. I'm loving it so far. I think it's really cool to finally see that guy with the belt. I'm so happy.
Yeah, kudos to him. And kudos to the booking committee.
I was going to say, kudos to him and them.
Whoever the agent was, Cena being cool enough to want to put things out there the way he did. I just thought everything was done really well, and I'm really happy with it. I really enjoyed that match.
Yeah, it was great. Right. And that led us to SmackDown, where Randy Orton came out after that Bray Wyatt promo and said, as long as you're the master and I'm your servant, I will never... I can't accept that match at WrestleMania. And it's pretty freaking cool. I don't know. All right, so now if they break up, it's kind of even cooler. And if they stay together, it's even crazier. So this is dope.
I mean, okay. So it's so weird because, I think the entire
just
world...
became Boba Fett.
Hey, it's a little chilly. So I think it's pretty clear that everyone feels like at some point Randy Orton's Viper, he's going to turn, right?
Right, and we've legitimately felt like that since week one.
Yeah, no, it was like, okay, so when's this going to happen? But now, okay, so now I think is going to happen, I think Luke Harper wins the Battle Royal, and then Orton offers or is suggested somehow that he be in the match to make sure that Bray keeps the title. And it's a triple threat match at Mania.
But okay, but Bray has to win at Mania. That's no matter what, Bray has to win at Mania. He's okay. Like we just said, he beat Cena and Styles. He has to beat Randy Orton or whoever he faces. Otherwise, he's the champion for a month, and it's meaningless right away. If he beats Randy Orton, that's it. He's the champion for a while. And that's what he needs. That's what SmackDown needs. Don't ruin this. You heard the crowd both of those nights. Do not ruin this, WWE.
I'll defend WWE here if they have him drop the title, because if it becomes a triple threat match and Orton gets frustrated...
I don't care if he doesn't get pinned.
But, okay.
He needs it.
But he's a bad guy. He literally has brainwashed somebody.
He's not a bad guy. Did you hear the crowd? I don't care.
He's a
that guy.
If you brainwash someone,
the crowd chanted, "You deserve it." He's not a bad guy.
That is okay. Okay, but in presentation, if you met someone and you're like, "Hey, what's going on? This is my friend Rich."
Maybe I'd be
brainwashes
brainwashed.
people.
I think he's a great guy.
Maybe he's done it to you too.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. I'm brainwashed. I have a sheet mask hanging above my bed. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else to.
God, so is my brother. This is terrible.
Well, yep.
All right. Well, do you want to jump into Raw or do you want to discuss SmackDown?
I think we literally discussed
Well,
everything on
yeah.
SmackDown.
Yeah. I think okay. So now, following or bracketed by two nights that I enjoyed watching wrestling.
Well, you hated Monday, but for the same reasons why I loved it.
Yes. Monday night was for me.
Woo!
I really hate Kevin Owens. And I'll start by saying I'm not the only one. Because hashtag Broken Matt Hardy on Twitter tweeted out that people should never trust Brother Kevin. And it was a video or a GIF of when when Matt Hardy was in ROH, and how Kevin Owens said that he would join Scum, except he doesn't want to be associated with that guy. And then it pans and it's Matt Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
I was so excited for the Festival of Friendship. I thought that the dancers were fantastic. I thought that Jericho's hat that was way too small for his head was fantastic. Everything about it was just so great, and it was better than the Rock birthday celebrations or the This Is Your Life. It had that same feeling, but the difference there being Rock's not a piece of shit. Kevin Owens, why it literally broke my heart. Literally broke my heart when someone tweeted out something like, it's crazy when you go to watch the Festival of Friendship and then it's that moment you realize, and it's when he's holding the list that says the list of KO, and he says when you realize that the Festival of Friendship is the Red Wedding from Game of Thrones. And nothing could be more accurate. I was like, why would he? I'm literally sitting there going, what did he get him? I was like, maybe he got him a contract to defend the United States title against Brock, as a jerk move, right? But they're still going to be friends. And then it's like, oh, I got you a new list. And I'm like, why? Why would he even need a new list? Every part of that unveiling or that reveal, I couldn't. And then once I saw the KO part, I actually, and kudos WWE, I felt my stomach turn. I went, oh no, why would he do that? And I've only, in the last couple of years felt that way another time after Sami Zayn won the NXT Championship, and that son of a bitch comes down and power bombs his goddamn nobody be friends with this motherfucker. Nobody. I don't think this is kayfabe. I think this is real. I think you just can't trust this guy.
Okay, so now I'll give the real side of things here. What an amazing segment! Absolutely amazing. From when they were walking together backstage, and Triple H said, "Oh, can I speak to you?" And Jericho was like, "Yeah, of course." And he said, "No, I just need Kevin right now." That was it for me. That was okay. This friendship is over. Then they had the Festival of Friendship. Jericho comes out looking like a freak in, the bright silver attire. And then as soon as Kevin Owens came out, you could see that he was just like, yeah, what the fuck are you doing? Come on, man. This is too much. And then we proceed. All the crossing sword sculpture. The painting was phenomenal. I wish I could have that painting. I'll buy it on WWE Shop. But then the whole time Kevin Owens is just pissed off. Kills Gilbert, which I thought was hilarious. That was awesome. And then he gives him the present. And I was like, okay, what is this? I'm right there with you. And he's like, oh, you got me a new list. And I said, wow, WWE is a piece of shit because they just started selling $25 list of Jericho's, and now they're going to give him a new one? Like that, that would just be the ultimate slap in the face. But luckily, it was not. And as soon as Jericho said, wait a minute, why is my name on this list? I smiled. I laughed. It was absolutely brilliantly done. It was perfect. I loved every second of it. Kevin Owens destroyed him. And it made me believe that Kevin Owens is going to beat Goldberg. And clearly not on his own. Maybe Jericho comes out and he gets DQ'd. Maybe Triple H and Samoa Joe or someone like that helps him. I don't know. But you cannot put someone over that way and then have him lose that belt in 37 seconds to Goldberg. You can't. So I just hope this leads to him versus Jericho at WrestleMania. The crowd was nuts. They'll be great in that match. KO win, and we'll move on.
I'm not going to lie to you. Here's what I want to happen now because Kevin Owens is such a son of a bitch. I want him to lose his fucking title to Goldberg. I want him to lose his title to Goldberg. And then what I want is on Monday Night Raw the next night, I want Jericho to come out and get on the mic and be like, you see what happens when you turn your back on your friends? I would have helped you win. And now you don't have a title because you turned your back on your best friend. And I'm going to F you up at WrestleMania to prove that I was the better friend.
Right, to which extent he would get obliterated. But I think that Sami Zayn beating Chris Jericho somehow, and maybe by Kevin Owens' interference or whatever the case, and Samoa Joe beating Sami Zayn at WrestleMania for the U.S. title and having that and going from there, I think that's a better look. And I don't know that necessarily plays out. I'm just really hopeful that we do not get Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho for the U.S. title because it's a clear and obvious step down. Like, is Kevin Owens going to win the U.S. title and not just drop it? Like, who cares about this? I was just the Universal Champion last week. That's so stupid. So I don't want to see that match for that belt. So we're going to have to get out of it some way. I hope Jericho comes out and costs him, something like that. And cost him meaning getting him DQ'd. And then that's it.
It's hard for me to discuss this angle because I'm literally so emotionally invested. If that son of a bitch comes out and costs Jericho the title after he did that to him on Raw,
it would make you root for Jericho that much harder at WrestleMania and make that match that much better.
And you brought up another piece of garbage that awfully, horribly intimidating. Now look, this is what I understand. I'm watching a segment. I'm enjoying it. Right? I'm enjoying it. I'm sitting there going, hey, wow, Samoa Joe is really good. He really carries himself as somebody who's, you shouldn't fuck with. Just a real badass. Like, just legitimate. And something almost akin to Brock Lesnar, but actually I think his voice, just the deep octave of it, makes him that much more intimidating.
Because, yeah, right, Brock Lesnar doesn't talk for himself.
Yeah.
So that's... Samoa Joe talks for himself, and very, very well.
So, here I am, enjoying my wrestling on a Monday night, listening to Samoa Joe, enjoying his segment, and then he needlessly says, I'm not a flash in the pan like Sami Zayn. What the fuck, bro?
and obviously, that's where we're going for WrestleMania. And that's great. I think, we've discussed this many times, much to your dismay. Sami Zayn is that guy. He is amazing in the ring. He sells like almost nobody else. He is fantastic at the comebacks. He has the heart of a champion. And he is the perfect guy for these guys to face. He did a hell of a job against Braun Strowman. Without him, there is no Kevin Owens, vice versa. But he is that guy to put in this role. And him and Samoa Joe are going to tear it up. And you're gonna make a monster out of Joe. And that's exactly what needs to be done.
I don't know. Like, I don't want to say this on air, but I'm going to say it. If Jericho and Zayn lose at WrestleMania,
it will be best for business.
I won't be able... I won't be able to go to work. It'll feel like the way when the Mets lost to Kansas City. You know, it's if they both lose, like somebody's got to get their revenge on one of these two. One of them. They can't both
Jericho,
get away with
I don't know how long he's going to be around. You know, after this, probably take some time off. But Zayn will be around. Zayn will, just think of if Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe are a crew with Triple H, and who knows what comes from that. But if they're boys and they both killed Sami Zayn, eventually, Sami Zayn's going to get some type of comeuppance, and feuding with the Universal and the U.S. champion or whatever the case is not a bad place to be. They posted like that. They tore it up on the house show the other night, him and Kevin Owens for the Universal title. So, hey, there's hope. Sami Zayn is awesome, and he'll get his time. It's good for him to be in these spots.
I just can't anymore. I just want him. I'll be like that weirdo guy with the green hat and the glasses at WrestleMania 7 who starts crying the minute Macho Man and Elizabeth get back together. Like, I'm going to be that guy if Sami Zayn wins the world title.
I thought you were just going to say you were going to be that weird guy with the green hat and, like, the plaid jacket. I thought you were going to say, like, you were going to be Sami Zayn.
Oh. You son of... All right, maybe we should move on from discussing that because I can't handle that anymore. Like, I'm actually very angry about the way. Great job, WWE. You've got me flummoxed. I can't speak. I don't even know what to do anymore. I am legitimately 100,000% bought in to both of these feuds.
Yeah, and all it took was one solid night of angles. Yes, Jericho Owens has been building forever, but realistically, it was this one angle done perfectly that made it that much better. And both of them executed to absolute perfection. Joe killing Zayn later on in the night, it's Samoa Joe. Like, this is how you build people, WWE. Like, this is what you do. You didn't change his name. You didn't change his gimmick. You gave him dope-ass music. You made him a star in NXT right off the bat. And now here he is on Raw, comes in as the Destroyer, legitimately injures one of your top guys. And now here you go. You're off to the races. Great sit-down interview. He destroyed, no pun intended, he destroyed that interview. He killed it. And he's a made man. He's money already.
Oh, Sammy, what were you doing? Why did you say his name? Oh, I mean, I get it.
Put some respect on my name.
I was really upset, but I would not have in a million years thought that the right move was to call him out while you're on the stage.
Yeah, everyone wants to kill Voldemort, but you don't say Voldemort.
All right. I'm trying to think of what else happened on Raw, but I'm actually so overwhelmed by my hatred of this stuff that makes it difficult.
Bayley.
Oh, Bayley won. That's right.
Defeated Charlotte to become the women's champion, and it's the main event of Raw. It's pretty obvious the babyface was going to get the win there, and I don't really care. It was a great match, well-told story. I liked Sasha getting involved. I don't understand why Dana Brooke got involved because she hasn't been around. So yeah, now my question here, yes, I know we still have 6-7 weeks, and Nia Jax can get involved tomorrow or, Monday, but it seems like Sasha and Charlotte have been having their issues. Charlotte and Bayley clearly are having their issues, and now Sasha and Bayley have some, hey, why did you help me? I didn't need your help, that kind of heat. Where does Nia necessarily fit in? I know she fits in perfectly fine. She's had matches with all of them. But from that storyline that we started on Monday, she wasn't around.
I mean, I thought they were heading for a
four-way.
A four-way. I don't understand where she is. Maybe is she hurt? Maybe she tweaked something. I don't really understand what occurred there.
I didn't hear anything about that. Yeah, I guess, she's not on anyone's side, so why would she get involved? Like I said, she can always come out on Monday and just be involved. But the issues, the deeper-rooted issues, are with these three. And, Nia is kind of just the odd man out there. Yes, she fits in, like I said, and it would make perfect sense. But I kind of just want to see these three get their shine.
Yeah, I've said it in the past. I'm not a huge fan of titles switching quickly. How many times is Charlotte going to win this damn title?
Yeah, I think Bayley. I just don't get why Bayley. Like, why doesn't Bayley win at the pay-per-view? Like, I don't.
Okay, I get.
She doesn't even have to beat. No. She doesn't even have to beat Charlotte in the 4-way at WrestleMania. Like, why doesn't the Ultimate Babyface get that win there?
Because at this point, it's Mania. You want your babyface reaction. So Bayley keeps the belt at Mania.
Yeah, but isn't that babyface reaction what I'm saying? It's even bigger.
Oh yeah,
if Bayley wins it for the first time.
Yeah, no, you're right. So then
it makes no sense.
I don't know what they're doing, but hopefully, because of everything else that they're doing so well, I really hope there's something behind this. I just don't like the fact that Charlotte's been in the WWE for 2 years and she's like a 9-time champion.
Well, I mean, whatever. That belt switches more than anything. But, we talked about it multiple times when that storyline was going on. I didn't really mind because it's just, hey, they're so even. This is just good. But I hope Bayley gets it, and I hope Bayley keeps it for a little while. Because if she drops it at Mania, then what the hell does this belt mean? No one can hold it. I don't... If Charlotte wins at WrestleMania, it's kind of just like, I guess this is... it's been building to her winning again at WrestleMania, but that's just stupid. She doesn't have to take the pin. She doesn't have to break her losing streak, whatever it is, but that's fine. Just let Bayley keep the belt. Let's move on with these storylines. See where they go.
No, agreed. And I think I feel like there's not much else on Raw.
Yeah, no, that's it.
So there were...
That's everything I had written down. Yeah.
There were 2 other pay-per-views this weekend offered over on FloSlam. The second episode of Style Battle. So I know one of the things we talked about last time was about the Styles idea. I don't even think it's a thing.
No, doesn't seem like it.
There's no style.
Who's ever available this weekend, come through.
Yeah, I don't mean to knock it. I just expected, and maybe I'm just way too literal, which I know Statwife has said I am.
Well, no, but I think that they made a point of saying they were going to have different styles, and maybe they did. I don't know. Maybe they had one this week. The first one, I guess, we kind of settled on high flyers or something like that. But this one, maybe, I don't know, was just brawlers or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Callahan.
I didn't like. I got why Yehai and Henry.
Yeah, Anthony Henry. Yeah,
got in again, but wasn't there someone else in there again? And I was just like, well, what the hell is the point of these tournaments? What the hell is the point of these tournaments if these same guys are just going to be in them every week? Eventually, Austin Theory or AR Fox should win one, right? Like, they're in all 8.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I don't think anybody from this episode can repeat next episode. But one of the arguments, and I guess I kind of get it, was that AR Fox lost in the finals of the last one.
Yeah,
so
I guess you can do the guy who loses in the finals, and Yehai and Henry had the draw, so I get it. But it still, to me, was like, okay, you have 7 people in this, and 4 of them were in the last one.
Yeah, I hope they do branch out. I mean, especially since you have that Frey match. There's guys in there that you could be using.
Well, I liked the Black and Brave. I liked the Seth Rollins school. I thought that was cool that they were getting used. A couple of those guys were okay. Mm-hmm. So if they're going to do that kind of a thing where, they have the local wrestling schools or that type of relationships, and they see guys there, they scout guys there, that's great. I think that's a perfect use for the Fray. Let these guys who know each other and have been having matches with each other in school every day, have them go out there and just have a match with each other. And that's how the Sami Zayns and Kevin Owens got started, and Chris Jericho and Lance Storm, just wrestling each other everywhere. So I like that, and that's a fine idea. And I enjoyed the style battle. I liked the tournament idea, and I thought FIP was also good the next night.
Yeah, still style battle. You end up having Tracer X win, and then it kind of bleeds into the next night. because he ends up showing up on the FIP show. I thought the FIP show was much improved from the first time. I'm starting to wonder, are they trolling us with the ring announcer? Like, at this point...
Whether they are trolling us or not, he is annoying as hell. Every match is not the best match ever. I'm just sick of hearing it. And, like, yeah, maybe he's trolling us, but it's going to make me stop watching it. Like, it annoys the hell out of me. He curses every time he can for no reason. It was much less this time, but still every time. And then every match, yeah, I know I exaggerated last time, but that terrible women's match we just saw was a 7-star match and the best match of all time. Shut up. No, it wasn't. And you're hurting the product by saying that because you're pissing people like me off and are like you're souring what was a decent match because I'm like, yo, man, no, it wasn't. Now you're overrating it. Now I'm annoyed by it. Just don't do that.
I thought the opening was good, though. They had Jordan and Power come out. I mean, when in the first minute and a half of a show, you have a dude powerbomb
right. It's always nice to start with the brawl.
Over the top rope into the audience. And granted, that audience...
The audience or 7 wrestlers who happen to be standing by the ring.
No, it had to be, right? Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch it in slow motion to see... Or
like, there was like a barricade, and then there was a section of people just standing, or what? Like, come on.
Still genius, though. I thought it was... I loved watching that. That was so great. Power was like really powerful. So,
and I like the adult only type theme. I like the cursing, but when Sami Callihan or Darby Allin or someone curses, it means nothing because the ring announcer cursed 8 times 40 seconds ago. So I like when those guys are so angry and like, oh come on you fucker, whatever. But like then you have guys like, oh fuck, just. Come on, just because you can say it doesn't mean you have to 40 times.
Very odd.
Watch any other wrestling company and watch PWG. There's no censorship there, but they don't curse every chance they get. So when the announcer goes, holy shit, it's cool. It's not like, oh, that's just how he reacts to a bad women's match.
Yeah, there were... I thought that the best person for me all night. Okay, so you obviously have the aggressive guys who are just like evil heels, right? And obviously they're doing a good job and they're being kind of extreme and stuff like that. The person I thought who like did the crude but funny type thing the best was Dan Barry.
Yes,
he was just so good. He was with what is this guy's name? Weevil Whitaker, who it's just weird.
He wasn't with him though. He just came out.
Well, no, yeah, he came out.
Yeah,
and I thought that was excellent. And then what was great?
That game is really bad though.
The what?
The Weevil Whitaker and like his gay whatever. Like it's weird. It's too creepy.
Yeah, it's weird with Billy Barboza. But what I did like was that Barry came out later then. And after doing that comedy bit, kind of, but still being funny and being crude, but that perfect balance, then comes out when the angle that I don't like is this Dante Brown with his bet, whatever, but Dan Barry kind of attacked Anthony Henry, and then you had Mila, who I don't feel like we were introduced to enough for this to be impactful, but it is what it is. It's weird to see Martin Stone listed, right? Here when he was in the UK tournament with another name, can't remember. He's the guy who got busted open. No, the guy who busted the other guy open. I thought the bald
Martin
guy.
Stone and Danny Burch are the same person.
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Am I crazy?
I believe so.
I feel like.
No, same person.
They are.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right. I thought I was seeing things. And then
it's crazy because like on Wikipedia, you know how it has ring names, and then like one is always bolded, and for him it has 3 ring names and 2 are bolded.
Oh yeah, Joe Ryan.
Crazy.
So that was a good match. I enjoyed that one. I thought that Yehai versus Brian Cage was just. out of this world. It just shows me how good Yehi is to be able to believably beat Cage, who's a much larger man.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I have my moments with Yehi. I like him at times, and at times I don't. He's getting a little stale to me, but I agree. This was a cool matchup. I enjoyed it. Him getting the win was fun, but I don't know. He needs something. He needs a little more character. Or I get it. He's a crazy lunatic, and he stomps on people's feet, and that was cool for a minute. But now it's kind of like, eh.
I think he just needs to get on the mic more. I think we need a reason to. I think he's won people over, but now he needs something to keep them.
And you know what I think hurts is I first saw him in Evolve. And in Evolve, he's the opening match, and he's not necessarily the most over or the best guy in the ring there. So to see a guy who's an undercard guy or a tag team guy now be the world champion and beating the guys like Brian. If Brian Cage came to Evolve, I guess maybe Yehi would beat him there, but I don't know. Like, I think anywhere else, like, Cage kills Yehi, and I get that, the local promotion, that's what happens kind of a thing, but part of it just didn't feel believable enough.
Fair. And then the night ended with a triple threat match, because throughout the night, kind of like the same thing that happened last time with Uncle John's friends, things kind of getting changed, basically, due to their involvement. So they had kind of attacked. Sami Callihan was upset that Austin Theory has a WWE contract, but AR Fox, his trainer, doesn't. So then, they start beating him down. Guevara comes out, and in his best Teddy Long sets up a tag match. And then along the night, there were some more problems, and then Tracer X joined, so it ended up being a six-man. I said it earlier, don't love six-man matches. I don't want the main event. The main event for the last one was, if I believe I'm correct, it was an 8-man, intergender. No,
yeah,
it was a
so.
four.
It actually might have just been a 6-man.
I think it was actually. Pardon me. Yeah, you're maybe right.
It could have been an 8-man. There was probably someone else, but whatever.
Yeah, so I just
a multi-man tag match.
Mm-hmm. I hope that I like this one a lot better. I just hope that the next show doesn't have that. I don't need that. I don't want to see another multi-man match.
I think a lot of the chaos and the run-ins, that's got to slow down at some point. But I think the problem here for me is I don't really like Guevara and who's the other one? Not Tracer X.
Austin Theory?
Who else was there? Yeah, I don't. Austin Theory, I'm is growing on me because he's just so young, and I'm like, okay, in a couple years this guy could be cool, but I don't know. I don't like Sammy Guevara. I don't like the way he acts. I don't like the way. Not necessarily that I don't like the way he wrestles. I'm not a fan of his. So the baby faces here. I'm rooting for the heels because I like those guys.
Oh, yeah.
I don't. Yes, I get that. All the cool guys, all the stars are in Uncle John's Friend, but that's working against them for me at this moment. I don't like the baby faces, so I'm not rooting for them to get their comeuppance. And when they get close, I'm more nervous than I am, anticipating. I'm scared that they're actually going to win.
It's weird. I don't know. Part of me feels like, and maybe it's for us, that we know the heels. We know AR Fox, we know Sami Callihan, we know Darby Allin. And I think
Darby was great, by the way.
Oh, it's so awesome.
His promo, just being a weirdo, I really like him. His work is getting even better.
Yeah, no, it's kind of weird. So it's kind of weird to, he's playing this super heel, but I'm still super behind him. Maybe part of it's because his Evolve character, and it's a little difficult to separate.
Mainly, yeah.
But at the same time, I think that we're gonna kind of pull for guys that we know a little bit more in that
Of course.
way. So, like even my little brother, like when we go to the Evolve show, sometimes he just roots for somebody who might be a bad guy because that's who he knows Galloway or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I think Ring of Honor just kind of had another episode from their taping this month, from the Atlanta tapings that I was down at.
Well, there's one thing we have to kind of talk about from Ring of Honor now, or is that are we not allowed to?
I believe we're allowed to.
Right? I mean, we got to throw up that too sweet to Kazarian. Turning on Christopher Daniels, joining the Bullet Club. It's going to happen on Ring of Honor TV, right? In some number of weeks.
Yeah, it happened.
I guess we should have gave a spoiler warning.
Yeah, whatever. If you're this deep into the show, then you're definitely fine with spoilers.
Yeah, nobody listens anyway. It's all right.
And the truth is, I believe Kazarian tweeted out. So for me, if it's tweeted out, then it's officially like you can say stuff.
He'll probably be on like a New Japan show or something as the Bullet Club before he's on the Ring of Honor TV. Okay, isn't like Honor Rising coming up?
Honor Rising is, I believe it's something like
next week, right? 26th?
26th. That's a Monday, though, isn't it? It's a weird day of the week.
It's a Thursday.
Oh, I'm not good at math. No, the 25th we're going to Evolve, so it's a Monday night. Or it's a Monday Japan, I don't know.
Let's think about this. The 25th we're going to Evolve, and that's a what, Saturday? So the
Sunday.
24th?
Is it a Sunday?
So the 26th is a Sunday. I don't know.
All right. Anyway, it's going to happen soon. So, continuing this...
Yeah, we go back to work when? 27th? Or off till the 27th?
I think we're off to the 27th.
Yeah.
We go back to work.
So, yeah, I guess it's a Sunday night then, the 26th?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right, so that's
okay.
do
weird things.
I mean, I guess, if I wanted fewer hits, but just to get the message of this show across, I would title it Disappointment in Friends or like Barbershop Window Week, because what the fuck? I mean, can you not have friends in wrestling?
Week is a good one.
Can't you have friends in wrestling? Like,
yeah, that's a great question. You certainly can't have friends who have a history of powerbombing people on the apron. Personally, I feel me and Kevin Owens, we would get along swimmingly. I think we would be great friends. You and Kevin Owens, I think you'd end up powerbombed on an apron.
No, 100%. And I feel like, wow, Christopher Daniels carries, takes Kaz under his wing. They become best friends. He puts him in comic books that I own.
I guess we can also look at this as Kazarian revitalized Christopher Daniels' career.
You son of a bitch.
I like that one.
You would do that.
I'm just saying, there's two sides to,
I didn't see this coming, so kudos Ring of Honor. I can't wait to watch how it plays out this week. On their programming, they had so like Mark Briscoe cut a promo. He's on commentary, but they kind of did like an impromptu interview with Kevin Kelly, asking him about his brother's preparation. He's like, he's never seen his brother train so hard and get so ready for a match for the Decade of Excellence tournament finals that we already know the result of. But anyway, I think they followed it with a Kazarian one, which I thought was equally as good. So, I mean, lately their video packages are just, I love them. I love when they do, like when they do the dueling. I think the best ones are when they do the dueling video packages, where it's the guys backstage saying something, and it's almost like they're answering each other. I think that's really well done. I wonder, there's a part of me that wonders if they're just like in the same room. Like the guy finishes and the other guy says something.
Clearly. Kazarian just said this, and this. Okay.
Yeah.
Boom.
But they even had a really great Bobby Fish. A really great Bobby Fish was just really great at the end of the show, kind of talking about his title shot.
And that's the problem for me with Ring of Honor right now. Like the next slew of shows, and including the one that we're going to, don't feel like top to bottom big shows. They're, like I sincerely do not believe that anyone beats Adam Cole. I don't believe that the Bucks lose to anyone. So I don't know. Like until we get to the Hardys, until we get to someone else that's meaningful in the singles match, I don't see the champions losing.
I guess I have to can't disagree with you there. They already announced that Skrull is going to be defending
Go.
the television title against Leo Rush at Supercard of Honor.
Okay. And at Manhattan Mayhem, Rush and White are fighting for the tag titles. So, is he going to be a double champion? No. Is he even going to be a champion? No. So, come on.
Yeah,
up until Kaz turned on Daniels, seemingly you felt Daniels could beat Cole. Now that's kind of out the window, right? I guess it doesn't have to be, but I just feel I feel that way.
Okay, so actually, I think it almost means it gives them two roads, right? You could have Kazarian interfere and cost Daniels the match, and then have them feud.
Again, Supercard of Honor is after Anniversary Show.
Yeah. The way it works out is we're actually going to Manhattan Mayhem, and then a week later,
right.
On March 10th, is the Anniversary Show, and then they're doing Supercard of Honor on April 1st. So supposedly,
correct me if I'm wrong, at Supercard of Honor, they're selling Adam Cole versus Dalton Castle for the world title.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Adam Cole's not losing.
But see, my thing is, Daniels wins, right? He
can fight Kaz, right? But
yeah, he beats Cole. I mean, he beats Castle to retain, and then he can have a sick feud with Kaz into the summer, going into.
See, they're selling it as Adam Cole versus Dalton Castle. Then do, like we said last time, do what Evolve does, and the winner of Adam Cole versus Christopher Daniels versus Dalton Castle. They're just selling it as Adam Cole.
I know what you're saying, but I think it's their philosophy of how to announce it. Evolve does it winner of. I think it's implied that whether whoever is the champion is the one who's going to. And I think they've kind of done a fair job of it in terms of the Daniels Fish. I watched some of the VODs from their trip to Texas and San Antonio, I believe, and then Dallas the next night. And what I noticed was Daniels would say, I don't care if it's Bobby Fish or if Adam Cole,
Right. Well, they say it in the promos, but still.
Yeah. No, I agree. But some other exciting stuff, since we're talking about slightly spoiler stuff, Punishment Martinez drops BJ Whitmer, which I think does a couple of things. I think it allows, obviously, Martinez to kind of go out on his own. And then also, I think that Whitmer's really good on the mic. And it seems that, Silas Young is scheduled to team with the Beer City Bruiser and her mystery partner at Supercard of Honor. At the tapings this weekend, apparently they switched out a lot of people.
The mystery partner, Kevin Kelly, right?
Kevin Kelly, yes. No, if you read my review of television this week, you can check it out. I have a picture that I think confirms that it's Kelly. But since that's going to happen, I think they're moving forward to having somebody else do color. And I think BJ did a good job. I'm not sure if you've heard it before, but some of the Women of Honor stuff, he was doing color with Kevin Kelly, and they had a pretty good chemistry. So I don't know, maybe they're setting that up so that's kind of cool. And
Whitmer's been solid on commentary. It'll be interesting because they've just been cycling in and out wrestlers. So that's on PWG a lot of times Excalibur calls, and then he'll have Dustin or he'll have Hero or Kevin Owens or whoever in the commentary with him calling the match, and I love it. So if they do something like that, that's great. I really enjoyed that. You get a different perspective. You get a current worker's perspective, and hey, I'm going to fight this guy next week, so here's what I'm saying. Yeah, I like that.
All right, and the last bit of big news that I guess I can discuss, and I wanted to ask your opinion because I'm not sure if you caught this. When I was at the tapings, after Mark Briscoe's match with Sal Rinauro on this week's episode of television, the way it played out at the tapings was Shane Taylor and Keith Lee came out and kind of started harassing him. Jay comes out, and they both put the Briscoes through tables, basically, or put Jay through a table, and walk out looking really strong. Now, that happened on January 14th. On January 15th, you can go back and check it out, Keith Lee tweeted out that he had signed his WWN Evolve contract. He ends up wrestling for Evolve on the 28th. He goes back to Ring of Honor and wrestles for them on the 3rd in San Antonio. Texas is his home state. Dallas is actually his hometown. He ends up not wrestling on that show because I guess they had promised one match, but they hadn't promised two with him. Shane Taylor this weekend ends up joining up with the Rebellion, so he's with them now. Ring of Honor cut the entire part of that segment out where the Pretty Boy Killers took out the Briscoes. You know, it's pretty smart TV, but I've never. Have you ever heard of anything like this? Like such a big thing kind of cut out that way?
Well, I mean, I guess it's just contractual. You know, he can't be on someone else's TV, sort of a thing, maybe. And, you know, yes, he was scheduled for those dates, and that's fine, but just not televised. So, yeah, they had to do their angle. They had to do all that stuff to set everything up, and it's just unfortunate that couldn't be shown on TV.
You know, I've read some things that some people are kind of like whispering, or I've heard things around that Lee hadn't told Ring of Honor officials the night of the tapings that he was leaving, and that they found out through
the night of the tapings.
So like when he when they did that angle, they didn't know that he was doing that, and then he tweets it out the next day. So you know, it's just kind of crazy to think of that somebody would put in this angle, and I don't know. It's
just unfortunate timing, you know.
Yeah.
Like I heard, I was watching on High Spots, Dustin and Trent have like their own little just sit down interview type thing, and they just drink beer and they're just dudes, and it's pretty hilarious. So I was watching the Kurt Hawkins one, and he told the story that him and Tyler Rex were doing like the Magic Mike gimmick. Like Magic Mike was the #1 movie in the world, and you know they were doing a stripper gimmick, and they were like on like dark matches or house shows, whatever, and like people were coming up to them like, "Yo, Vince loves this idea. Like you guys are made right now. You know, he loves it." So like, all right, great. So they show up one Monday, they go through all these meetings and all that stuff, and they walk out, and Tyler Rex is like, "Oh, I should probably tell you something." And Kurt Hawkins was like, "Yeah, what's up?" He's like, "Oh, I quit." And he was like, "You what?" And so then Kurt Hawkins was like, "Oh, how about we get Johnny Curtis to be my partner? You know, he's my friend, whatever." And Fandango is the birth of that stripper gimmick that never came out. But, you know, Kurt Hawkins didn't get the rub, but he got his boy a gimmick.
Man, Tyler really...
Wrestling is awesome.
Tyler really wrecked shit there.
Right, and there you go. Perfect. But, you know, that's the shitty part of tag teams sometimes is one person leaves and it kind of leaves the other guy high and dry. So that's, you know, it's unfortunate, like we said, for Ring of Honor that they didn't know about this and they filmed a good angle and didn't get to use it, but hopefully they make the most of it and, you know, everyone's happy going forward.
Yeah, I really want to see, you know, Taylor is a really big imposing force, so to add him to the Rebellion makes the Rebellion less of a, you know, they were kind of jokish.
More of a force.
Yeah, you know, when they were, now I'm forgetting their name for some reason, but whatever.
The Cabinet.
The Cabinet, you know, that was obviously a little bit too
if you slide Taylor in there with the All Night Express, they're legit.
Yeah, no, that's serious.
And you have Coleman as the mouthpiece and just the manager on the outside, and it's perfect.
That's totally.
And then Lee, we're going to get to see February 25th, right, at Evolve next week.
Yep.
Which, you know, we'll get into both of those shows next week. You know, we'll have an early podcast. We'll release sometime during the week, and you guys can enjoy that preview then.
Oh, well said. All right, so I think that takes us to the home stretch. I just want to, first of all, gotta plug our stuff out there before we wrap up. So make sure you guys, or if you're not already, follow us on Twitter, Running Wild LWOS. You can follow our Facebook page as well. You can find Running Wild on Wrestling over on Facebook. Make sure you guys send us an email if you have any questions, comments, or any concerns you want to share with us. Continue to participate in our polls, of course. They're going to get a little bit better. Our email is runningwildpodcast@gmail.com. Make sure you visit our website over at runningwildpodcast.com. You can find anything you need. Back episodes, some great interviews we have. Ethan Page recently, Bobby Fish, Christopher Daniels, and you can kind of read the write-ups of everything before you listen to the episode. And you can follow me on Twitter at Rich_LACONI Laconi. I find all my coverage of Ring of Honor over at pwponderings.com and rohworld.com, and you can find my WWF stuff over at lastwordonprowrestling.com. I believe that is everything covered, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I just want to remind you guys that you've been listening to the podcast that is just 2